Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. We're going to discuss the new developments in Bakhmut. Bakhmut is the hottest spot in military terms on the entire Ukrainian front. I will use two main sources of information, one Ukrainian, one Russian. And this is an update. Let's see what's going on. I'm going to start with obviously the Ukrainian media outlet of Ukrinform. This article comes from Thursday, February 16th, 2023, and it's come from 22:28, so that is 10:28 p.m. their time, Kiev time. Near the Donetsk region's Bakhmut, Russian troops are reinforcing their positions. So, 36 military clashes near Bakhmut, about 120 invaders eliminated. So, near the Donetsk region's Bakhmut, Russian troops are reinforcing their positions with motorized rifle and tank units. Active hostilities are underway. So, this is where Bakhmut is. The Russians call it Artemovsk, right here. This is where Artemovsk is, where the black dot is over here. Where the black dots are, these are active face-to-face fights. The red ones are missiles launched to these locations by the Russians. The blue are where the Russians report that they shot down some Ukrainian aerial vehicles or airplanes or helicopters, whatever might come, or missiles, rockets. So let's go back to this and then we're going to go back to see what happened in Bakhmut. The relevant statement was made by spokesperson for the Eastern grouping of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, Serhiy Cherevati, during a national telethon, and Ukrainian correspondent reports. And I'm quoting, let's make this bigger. It can be stated that near Bakhmut, along with the Wagner criminal organization, the occupiers are reinforcing their positions with the motorized rifle and tank units of the Russian regular army. And of course, regular Russian troops provide artillery and aviation support for both the Wagner mercenaries and the motorized rifle forces, and quote, Cherevati told. So the Russians are bringing more troops in Bakhmut, that's for sure, and I haven't heard about the Ukrainians being able to do that through the little channel open, wherever that is open, if it's open. In his words, a total of 36 military clashes have occurred in the Bakhmut direction over the past day. Russian invaders opened fire on the positions of Ukrainian forces with rocket artillery 134 times. A total of 117 Russian soldiers were eliminated and 199 injured. I like they have the exact number, that's good. According to Cherevati, Russians are suffering huge losses in the Bakhmut direction. How about the Ukrainians, I would like to know. But Russian troops are rotating and reinforcing with fresh units, trained or poorly trained, because usually that's how it goes. At the moment, it is difficult to say whether they can accumulate enough power to change anything radically in this area of the front before February 24th, Cherevati added. Now, I'm going to look at this keyword here, radically. So when you change something, that means you change. When you change a little bit more, yes. When you change radically, that means extreme. So it's difficult for Cherevati to say if the Russians can accumulate enough power to change anything radically. So that means they're changing something, not radically, but could be, massive, could be just change. So that already tells me by this, if he knows how to use his language, that the Russians are doing stuff that he doesn't really like, in case these guys can accumulate enough power. Now, I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but I think that based on the information these guys provide here, right here, Artemovsk, Donetsk People's Republic. Fierce fighting is taking place. Earlier, Igor Kimakovsky, advisor to the DPR's interim head, said that Russian forces had taken all the heights on the city's outskirts. So they are around the city and they're ready to blow these guys up, because when you get the heights, then you can shoot from there wherever you want, wherever you see anything. Now, I'm pretty sure that all this occurs without necessary with basic methods of visual assessment, but anyway, I knew that the Ukrainians had opened just this side here before and being surrounded from all the other sides. Now, as of now, the 16th of February 2023, this is the situation in Bakhmut. Nothing special so far for either side, it seems. But the Ukrainians and the Americans reported that the Russians are conducting the second offensive, major offensive, on the whole front. And I can't remember, I think it was Mark Milley, but I don't want to say it was him, stating, or maybe Ben Wallace of Great Britain, one of these guys said that the Russians make the mistake of attacking on the entire front, not only, on a few arrows, like it was the little blitzkrieg in France, attacking France. It was not in a whole front, it was just bypassing the Maginot line. And if you remember, the French, after the First World War, between First World War and Second World War, they were preparing. So what they did, they built, like the Ukrainians did, the same thing. Lines of defense, one after another. But the main one, it was called the Maginot. Maginot was a French marshal, general, anyway, a military commander, if I remember correctly. And they built this with concrete and from time to time, like a fortress. And underground, they had the tunnels with like train rails that could maneuver troops. It was a ingenious, fantastic Chinese Great Wall. But as is true with the Chinese Great Wall, if you break it in one spot, everything else becomes useless. The problem is what the Germans did. This Maginot line was coming from north, from the lowlands, Belgium, the Netherlands, and Denmark, but the Netherlands and Belgium, that was the ones. And from there going south on their territory. Now the Germans, when they invaded, they attacked France. They started the operation, because the problem is France declared, I think, war on Germany, not Germany on France, as Great Britain declared war on Germany, not Germany on Great Britain. The problem is Great Britain declared war very quickly, I think within 12 hours or something like this, after the Germans invaded Poland on the 1st of September 1939. And then the French were like, what should we do? Man, no, it's impossible here. And then the Brits pushed them from behind, and nothing about, well, I think about after about 48 hours, the French declared war. So anyway, so the Maginot line, and the Germans were coming, pum, 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 and then when they got here, they said, bam, bam, so they went around it. They went through the Netherlands, whatever, from the lowlands are considered over there, Benelux countries. They just bypassed the whole Chinese Great Wall of Maginot. Was useless, and they all of a sudden got behind. The point here was these guys did not attack with the whole thing like that. They broke the front like that. They're advancing so fast that Rommel and others on the tank divisions had to stop and wait for the supply lines to catch up with them, because they were thinning the whole spear. So the Americans, or I think it was American or the Brit guy, Ben Wallace or Milley, I think it was Ben Wallace though, said that the Russians make the mistake of not doing that. Like if you remember, the Ukrainians did in their counteroffensive. Remember, that's what they did. They attacked and like very focused and went in. So this is with Bakhmut. It seems like the Russians now they bring ammunition and troops and get ready to blow this thing up. If they got all the high positions around surrounding that means they're going to just start bombarding the town. So the Ukrainians either leave or die over there for a while, and then they surrender if they don't receive anything from behind quickly. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.